What's going on, golf addicts? DB here on a Sunday talking first look betting odds for the Waste Management Phoenix Open because DraftKings already has odds out. They're jammed up. They're going to be the official sports book built there on property at TPC Scottsdale. I think it's next year it opens. I don't think it's this year. So they've already got the odds out. They're jammed up, ready to go. Super Bowl weekend, first like really big elevated event of the season. This feels like the beginning of golf season. I know it's already started technically in September with the swing season, but then again, it kind of feels like it kicks off with the Century. But I think this is it. Waste Management, you got a ton of studs here. Rory's playing. The field is stacked, and obviously the Waste Management Phoenix Open is a really fun tournament to watch on TV every week. So obviously, I'm not doing this at my normal time, so I may not have all the chat participation that I normally get, but would love as much chat participation as possible. If you're new to this video, I'm going to open up my first look at the betting odds. We're only looking at DraftKings Sportsbook today because none of the other books have it open. So shopping we can't really do right now, but I wanted to get this out because I do think there's still some value here, and it's probably important to go ahead and have an understanding of where the lines are right now so that when they open up, when all the books open up on Monday, we can go ahead and get it figured out. Plus, in the likelihood that Pebble Beach finishes on Monday, it might take a while for some of these other books to get the numbers out. If the numbers that we bet on today are longer when something else comes out, then we can add to our position. If they get shorter, then we're glad we hit it today. Okay, so that's something to know. I see Steve Dubb. Thank you, my man. Always in here helping me out. Hermetic Sabrosa. I don't never. Thank you for joining the chat. Let's get into this. I'm pumped about it. I do want to say this. This is the last week where this video will be free to the public. This is going to go Nut Hut exclusive only. If you don't know what the Nut Hut is, that is our premium Discord server with now over 900 members in there, chatting it up, mixing it up. Not all of those are premium members, but if you're a premium member, you will get this video every Monday exclusively to you. You can watch, you can participate in the chat just like always, but it's going to be a private YouTube link where only Nut Hut members can view it. This has been a valuable show in the last year because we get numbers at better odds. We get players at better odds. Mondays typically when odds come out is the best time to fire on a lot of these lines. So I would advise you to do that. Okay, Steve Dubb, yes, says get in the Nut Hut. That's really it. It's the best value. I'm telling you. If you bet, let's just say like you bet between I don't know, 20 and 50 bucks minimum per week. That's betting, DFS, prize picks, whatever. Then the Nut Hut is going to easily be a tool that you're going to need. You are going to need it. Okay. Yes, Steve. Thank you. Makes Mondays the best day of the week. Robbie, I'm going to go, but you know where to find me, Robbie. So show up. Let's talk about Waste Management briefly. It's a par 71 Weiskopf design, a little over 7,200 yards. Listen, this course helps bombers a good bit because there's not a ton of penalty out there unless you really blow it wide. We've talked to a lot of guys over the years about this golf course, and most of them say the bombers do have their they have their advantage, right? It doesn't mean that short players can't contend. We've seen Webb Simpson do it. Ches Reavie has a good record here. Guys like Mark Hubbard have played well here. And I do think what we're going to see this year with the weather, I just looked ahead. It looks very dry all week, which is good. Thankfully, after watching the Pebble Beach crap show that we've been watching, it's very dry. And like last year, I think it's going to play a lot like last year, where things got pretty firm and fast as the week progressed. The fairways were running out, the greens were firm, but still receptive. So that does allow the shorter player to play a role. But if you look at the top 20, top 25 last year, there's a lot of ball strikers and bombers in there. So we're going to lean that direction. It doesn't mean we're not going to have shorter hitters, that are just really accurate off the tee and good with their mid irons. Doesn't mean we're not going to have them on the card, but this is pretty much, this is a bomber's paradise. The par fives are pretty gettable. The greens are larger than average, and like I said, are going to play pretty firm. They're going to be listed as Bermuda with a POA overseed, but they putt very pure. I mean, they roll really, really pure. Honestly, I wouldn't really even look at any particular surface. I mean, maybe I would like long-term Bermuda, but honestly, in a model, I'd probably wait just straight up strokes gained putting more so than anything. I do think, so then it's approach play. Scrambling, probably not as big a deal. I think you should weight it a little bit, but these are larger greens. For the most part, the greens are, they'll get hit. You just might have a really long putt if your irons are off. But we have seen guys gain some strokes here scrambling. It can happen. Haven't seen a lot of first timers do well here. I guess Kyle Stanley and Brooks were the only like real first timers to get it done. So last year, and looking at the winning odds too, we have not had a triple digit winner since Kevin Stadler in 2014. And the longest winner since 2014, or after Kevin Stadler, has only been at like 50-1. So this is, I mean, even when the fields were worse, I mean, it's always been a good field, but this might be the strongest field we've ever seen at the Waste Management Phoenix Open with the elevated event status. I mean, so if it's been 50-1 or shorter for the last like 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, then it's probably going to be in that range, that short range this year. It's going to be really tough for a long bomb to make it happen. Now, does that mean I'm not going to give you any? No. Does a cat have a tail? No, I'm going to give you some long bombs. Okay. Okay. Anything else we want to talk about that? No, let's get into it. Let's open up the odds. Let's take a look, see what we got. Opening up DraftKings. Again, this is my first look. If you're new, I've not looked at the odds. I've not run a model yet. We're going strictly off of what I know about Waste Management, this being my 8th year handicapping golf with the Tour Junkies doing this, what we know of the players, and just value-based odds, right? So this is what we're doing. I'm going to go through here. We're going to talk through some names, and we're going to talk about who we like, who we don't like, talk ourselves into some, talk ourselves out of some, and then at the end, I'm going to recap and say these are the ones I really think we should consider hitting, maybe now, or definitely shopping early tomorrow to see what happens. So let's get it started. Jon Rahm is your favorite at plus 650, as he probably should be. Arizona State guy. I don't think he's ever finished worse than like 11th here. He loves this place. So it probably makes a lot of sense for Jon Rahm to be your favorite. Obviously, though, welcome to the Tour Junkie show. We're not betting that crap. Rory is your next one. Your next one at 8-1. Just won the Hero? Was that the Hero Dubai or something that he just won last week? Playing really well. I mean, those two for sure eat up a ton of win equity, and it's going to suck to not be able to bet either one of those. But this is Super Bowl. Maybe you combine them with the over or under on the national anthem by Chris Stapleton. Can't talk. Going over or under. I don't know. And you see what you get. I don't know. Maybe we do some parlays with NFL stuff, Super Bowl stuff. It could be fun, but that's not what I'm here to do. Scheffler, Schauffele, Homa, Thomas can't. It's sub 20-1. I think I want to go back to Max Homa. I just hit him. We just hit him, and his record here has been fine. 14th last year, 6th in 2020. As we've talked about in the coming weeks, I don't need to belabor this point. Max Homa is at a different level right now of his game, and I think it makes a lot of sense. It's 16-1. So I would hit that. I would love to see if I see a bigger number when the other books post, I will gladly hit it. I could see some other books posting like JT can't lay over him. So maybe we find him in the 20s, but 16-1. I can tell you right now, if you like Max Homa, I would hit that. I would hit that. And then it's like Finau, Morikawa. The 20s are enticing. Finau, Morikawa, Hideki, and Tom Kim. Hideki and Finau with the history here, right? Finau nearly won. Was that a couple years ago? When was it? Yeah, 2020. I think that was the year Webb won. I can't remember. Was that the year Webb won? Yeah, anyway. So Finau is definitely one that I like. We've talked about Finau a good bit already this year too. Just kind of bullish in general on his season, the way the guy's playing right now. He was a little disappointing. Was it at Torrey? He kind of disappointed. Let's see. Yeah, but he still finished 9th. Like, geez. Finau's a click at 25-1. That's for sure happening right now. So Homa, Finau for sure. And I think I'm going to bet. Colin, Hideki, Tom Kim. This is going to be a great spot for Tom Kim. It really is, because the fans love him. He loves the fans. He's a happy-go-lucky guy, but I don't think I want to bet him his first time around. I think I'd rather, and even though he's got Joe Scovern on the bag, Ricky Fowler's former caddy, Joe's got a ton of loops around the Waste Management, around TPC Scottsdale. I think I would rather take either Hideki or Morikawa. And I think for me, it's going to be Morikawa. Just as good as he's already come out playing in the Century, and was it the Sony or Century and Farmers? Um, I mean, just between those two tournaments, gaining 8 strokes on approach, and watch out, gaining over 7 strokes putting, that is crucial. The thing that the thing that cost him the century was the short game, the chipping, which I don't, like I already said, I don't think is a huge factor to weigh for TPC Scottsdale just because the greens are larger. With the new putting style he's got going on, I'm very much a fan of Colin Morikawa's year, more so than I thought I was going to be heading into this year. So for me, it's Finau and Calla. So shorter than 25 to 1. And y'all, I'm not even thinking twice about this. I think if you agree, we hit these numbers right now. Home at 16, Finau and Morikawa at 25. If they get longer, we add. If they get shorter, we're happy. Um, I think those guys are going to see action. I think those guys are going to see steam. So my guess is you're not going to find them much longer. And if you do see them longer, it won't last for long. So I would do that. Let's check in with the chat. Oh, let's see. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Hermetic. This is a great podcast. We appreciate that. Keep listening. Keep listening. Um, what's this? Our boy, one nugget in the Nut Hut pays for your whole year. Example, our boy DB let us know how Fitzy had a neck problem. Yep. Took Hovland even money in a matchup. Yep. Beat him by 11 strokes. All Nut Hut info. See, there you go. You paid for it right there. Also, what I tell you about Mark Hubbard? Hmm? What I tell you about Scott Stallings this week? Okay. Beer drinkers and hellraisers. That's right. What up, Jason? How you doing? Steve Decky does seem to like this place for sure. Oh yeah, Darren brings up a good point. I mean, we got to see what's going to happen at Pebble. I mean, Hovland's in the mix. There's a couple of other names I'm looking at that are in the mix right now at Pebble. If you're watching this is Sunday afternoon around 4:30 p.m. Eastern. They haven't even the leaders haven't even teed off yet for round 4. So, I mean, Rose, Malnati, Kitayama, Keith Mitchell, Bramlett, Brandon Wu, Hank Lebioda, Brent Grant, Victor Hovland, Bo Hostler, all up there. So, yet to see what's going to happen there. Okay. Let's keep going. So in the 30s, we have Hovland. I mean, Hovland's enticing. Well, he hasn't done well here, has he? Hovland. No, he's got 2 missed cuts here. That's surprising. This feels like a good tournament for him too. Well, let's see what he's done. Phoenix. Last year, man, just did not have his stuff ball striking. That's very strange. And then in 2020, ball striking was good around the green, and that's very strange to me. I don't know. I don't mind the 30 to 1 number. If you like Hovland, I mean, I don't mind that. And it could get shorter if he closes it out today at Pebble. So that's interesting. Sung Jae's the one that jumps off the page to me here in the 30s. He's played well here, right? Let's see. Sung Jae. Yeah, 17th, a 34th, and a 7th in years past. Playing well right now. Not super long, but he can still gain strokes with his just really good accuracy off the tee, and obviously his iron play is tremendous. So I don't know. I like the Sung Jae number at 35 to 1. Cam Young coming over from Saudi is going to be interesting. I think he just finished third or second. No, he just finished runner up to Abraham Answer at the Saudi Invitational and or International. So he's flying back. I think he played well. He finished like top 30 here last year. Could be one to look at. Man, the poor guy's had so many runner-ups. You just got to wonder when he's going to close the door. I think I'd still rather have Sung Jae, gun to my head, somebody in this range. So to me, Sung Jae's a click. Then we're getting into Jason Day, Taylor Montgomery, Sahith, who nearly could have won it last year. I think he messed up on. Then he hit it in the water on 17. Sam Burns is a long number. Mav disappointed the crap out of me this week. Terrell Hatton. Yeah, I think it's Taylor Montgomery for me. Guy, UNLV guy, Las Vegas guy, desert golf guy, continues to just be unbelievable with the putter, hits it plenty long. 50 to 1, sure. I'll take it. Like, this guy has to have some of the most, I mean, he's got to be one of the more confident guys that's a rookie on the PGA Tour right now. He should be. As good as he's playing, he's got to know that, like, even in this field, he could contend easily. So I think I'm going to go Taylor Montgomery. I mean, I know it's his first time. First timers, haven't really won other than Brooks. But I mean, obviously Brooks wins, and we find out, hey, Brooks Koepka, really good at golf, like legit good at golf. Maybe that's Taylor Montgomery. What if this is like the coming out party for T Montgomery? Like, what if I don't know, like Steve says he worries him, but I mean, yeah, what if the putter gets cold? Sure, but I mean, what if it just stays where it's at? And it's like, I don't know that his putter's ever going to get cold. Now that's ridiculous. We know that it will. He'll have bad days, but yeah, I mean, that's 50 to 1. I think I'd rather have that than Sahith, honestly. I just maybe that's a hot take. Let's take a look at Sahith again. That could be bad. I mean, so his short game is gonna keep him in a lot of. I just hate his performances off the tee. His driver is just so whack. Last year he gained 7.3 strokes short game. 7.3. I don't like that. I don't know. I feel better about Montgomery right now. I just do. It's just a gut feeling. I just like him at 50 to 1. What are we gonna do with Ricky Fowler? Well, we're not gonna bet him at 60 to 1. I think last week I mentioned it. Maybe it was in the Nut Hut. He was 80 to 1 here. I like 80 to 1. I like 80 to 1. I don't feel as good about Ricky at 60 to 1. If you love him, bet him. I think now DraftKings is making you pay for the fandom and the waste management, Ricky Fowler history. But I don't want to be that. I don't want to do it. Fleetwood sucks. Lowry sucks lately. I think Hatton's played good overseas, maybe. But I don't. Don't we see Hatton like not really loving this place? Like, how many times has Hatton played here? Let's see. Like, I could see Hatton hating this place because it's just rowdy and it's, oh, you drunk Americans. I can't do my British accent because then I go straight to the Aussie accent. That's not a good look. But I just see him kind of not liking this place. Let's see. Yeah, he's only played here what once in 2019, where he finished. He finished 15th. But he's only played here once. Gained almost 7 strokes on approach. Good lord. Um, yeah, I mean, and so the reason he's probably never come back is because he probably walked away from it going, "Those bloody Americans and their beer." Let's see, it was Aussie when I said beer. So I'm out on Hatton. Probably not doing that one. But I do like. Wow, let's go back to Siwoo Kim. Like working with Cameron McCormick. Just saw on his on social that he's been with him for some this week already. He doesn't have the best record here, but I think that's okay. Like he's a TPC hound. I mean, I wish this was Pete Dye. It's not, but 26 last year, I think was his best year. Gained 5 strokes off the tee last year and lost a stroke on approach. Like that's hard to do, Siwoo. I think he's gone to the broomstick. He's gained strokes putting the last 3 weeks, including the win at the Sony. I think Siwoo's in play at 65. Like I'm telling you right now, we're locking that one in. Siwoo's in play at 65. This like 80 to 1 and shorter range is where most of your bets probably need to be. I'm going to talk through some bombs, but 80 to 1 is probably and shorter is where we're going to have to live because it's just not likely going to be anybody longer than that in this field this strong. Keith Mitchell obviously playing really well right now. He's up there. Let's see. He got a T10 here last year, T16 in 2020. Bombs the ball. Good putter. I mean, Keith makes a lot of sense. If you like Keith, he's 65 to 1 as well. I like the 65 range because I also like Keegan Bradley coming off of what he just did. I mean, Keegan could have won the Farmers. Did you guys wasn't it the Farmers? Yeah, because I had Homa and he was going to snatch it from me late on Sunday if we weren't being careful. And he came out pretty sucky at the Century and the Sony. But dude, he gained 7 strokes putting. That's the thing about Keegan. Like if you talk about a guy who 26th here last year, he's played a lot of waste managements, man. He's familiar with this golf course. He's only gained strokes putting at the waste management twice in like 12 attempts. I mean, if he's caught a little heat with the putter like he did at the Farmers, watch out. 65 to 1. He can close. And he's run up the leaderboard in some big events in the last year. The Players last year, I mean, he didn't get it done, but he was running up there. And then he won what did he won? The Zozo, I think, last in the fall. Good field. I like Keegan at 65. I think that's a click. I'm tempted by Wise, but not. I got to see more. Man. I hate it. Noren is interesting at 70 to 1. He played well here last year. Probably not going to bet him. KH Lee. I like KH Lee. 80 to 1. Playing well. I think I've bet KH Lee in every tournament he's played so far in 2023. Runner up here in 2021 was that Brooks? Was that Brooks year? Or Webb? Anyway, runner up here in 2021, 38th last year. 7th at the Century, 28th at the Sony. Missed the cut at Amex. I don't know. Maybe not. Like, I don't know. Can Cage Lee run down this field? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe it's a no. I like, JT Poston at 81. I think he's a shorter hitter that could have a really nice run here at Waste Management. If you're looking at shorter hitters, JJ Spawn's been playing well. I don't like that at 80 though. Now we're kind of getting into that range where it's like you've got to ask yourself the hard questions. Can he take down the top end of this field? Because there's going to be a bunch of names at the top end of this field that are there late on Sunday, and you're counting on, you're telling me you're counting on JJ Spawn to step up there on 17 and with adrenaline pumping. He wants to club down so he can lay back in the fairway just like Sahith did last year. I think he had a hybrid, but the adrenaline's jumping and he duck hooks one and it rolls into the water and he's taking a drop and now he's got to get up and down to save par. Like, who do you want doing that when Rahm is right there and Xander's right there and Homa's right there and Finau and Rory's right there? This is where you got to start asking those hard questions. But there are some long names like Brendan Steele at 130 to 1 is interesting to me. He's got a really strong record at the Waste Management. I remember talking through him last year. I think it was really good record. 130 to 1. I like that. Lucas Herbert. I think he's got two. Let's see. Herbert is playing really well right now. Yeah, he finished third this week at the Saudi. He finished third at the Hero that Rory won. I mean, he's off to a hot start. He's a long hitter. He's a putter, really good putter. 150 to 1 for Lucas Herbert. I like that. Kurt Kitayama, 150 to 1. I would hit that right now. I love Kitayama's game for Scottsdale. And I love that the fact that he's playing as well as he is at Pebble is kind of crazy. He could win Pebble. So 150 to 1, let's hit that right now. Scott Stallings, 180 to 1. Kind of fizzled out over the weekend at Pebble, but got off to a strong start. I like that. That's tough skiing. What about Sam Ryder? Hadn't he played well here? I think he likes this place. Ryder nearly won. Was it the Amex? Was it Amex? No, Farmers. He was in the final group, right? With Rahm. I have a terrible memory, but yeah, finished 4th at the Farmers. Sam Ryder has a really decent record here. He's played here every year the last 4 years. T23 last year was his best finish. He's 250 to 1. Davis Thompson, 250 to 1. Nearly won whatever that event was. Rahm won 250 to 1. Was it Rahm? Hell, dude, I have the worst memory. 250 to 1, I like that. Anyway, so that's that. Let's go through the chat. Actually, let me finalize this here. So the ones that I'm saying we need to click right now, here we go. The ones we need to click right now. Max Homa at 16 to 1. Tony Finau, 25 to 1. Morikawa, 25 to 1. Sungjae, 35. Montgomery, 50. I want to say, man, I like Siwoo. I think those are the ones you have to hit. The only other one I think you have to hit right now that you can't wait on is Kitayama at 150 to 1. Just in the event he goes up and wins Pebble Beach. So Kitayama at 150, and then it's basically Taylor Montgomery and shorter. But I do really like those other guys, like Siwoo and Keegan. So there you have it. All right, let's look through the chat. We'll see if you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat right now. We'll hit them here at the end. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this one up. Okay. Steve says Montgomery. Oh yeah, I've already looked about that. Oh, Darren's with me. What price Cage Lee was second here in 2021? Likes these scores. Yeah. I mean, 80 to 1. Like I said, I mean, he made me stop and pause, but then I'm starting to think I'm pausing more about him closing it out in this field. That was the only thing. Taylor was struggling at Torrey. Let's take a look at what he did at Torrey. Still just so freaking good. And yeah, I mean, I guess he finally lost strokes putting, but wasn't that his first POA experience? Am I wrong? At least in 2023, because I mean, Amex is not real POA. Okay, Sony's not POA, and Scottsdale is not POA, so that might help a little bit. I still just believe in Montgomery right now. Okay, someone throw a beer at Hatton and take him off. Of all the old dudes, Ricky seems like he's best for the drunk hero in Scottsdale. I mean, Ricky's has a special place in Scottsdale. Yes, for sure. Yes, Keegan in form. I agree. I like it. Darren, nice tip here. Kevin, you a Scottsdale resident, knows the course well. Big price can get placed. That's true. If you can get each ways. Darren, I keep forgetting you're our UK friend. We just, most of these legal states in the US, you can't get each ways. There's certain books maybe that you can, but and there's a ton of Scottsdale residents, right? A lot of Scottsdale residents here. That's right. I thought I remembered Sam Ryder had the hole in one. Thank you, Myron. Yes, thank you. Steve, Webb at 250 to 1? Absolutely not. I don't care. Like, he's not right. He's not the same Webb. Love been on here, but the problem is he's not in the field, which is ridiculous, but he's not in the field. Brent, yeah, you're right. Herbert, that's what I was talking about. Herbert's playing well. Myron, Decky at 28 to 1, have to look into it. Elite course history when it comes. Yeah, I mean, Decky plays very well at Scottsdale for sure. I think he is a look. I mean, I love that range right there with Morikawa. Was it Morikawa, Finau, Hideki, and Tom? I like it. How is Higgs not in this field? Hero of the event last year. Man, you're right. I don't know. Maybe he's did he not get a sponsors invite? That's crazy. That is crazy. I mean, he's playing well right now. I think he'd have to go super low on Sunday at Pebble to get into the top 10 to be able to qualify automatically there. But yeah, that is kind of wild. I wish he was here. Hopefully it gets him. All right, that's it. That's it in the chat. Thanks, guys, for joining. That's the first look. Those are the names I think you need to click on. Obviously, me and Pat will be doing the betting show on Monday night. We'll run through, our models on Monday, see what comes up. Something might change. We'll have some top 20 bets we like. We're also going to do some let them hang predictions. Okay, some big bold bets for Scottsdale. Probably throw in a few Super Bowl props or something in there as well. So be on the lookout for the podcast. Like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already. And again, this video will now be private view only if you're a Nut Hut member going forward starting next week. So let's make our bookies pay and bend them over. All right. See you.